Hello. So I was testing a new build, SSF League Star scenario. As you can see, this is the uh, TR Pathfinder. So I got this idea from a post on Reddit. People suggest different builds, and this is kind of the meta build. So this is one of the meta build. The other is the Bone Shatter. I think it's Juggernaut. So I wanted to try that build last maybe. But basically, this build is really bad. I honestly don't know why people are playing. So many people are playing this build. It just feels terrible. But however, like I think maybe more people. I mean, when you are getting better at this game, you would play this kind of like glass cannon build. But yeah, definitely it's above my level. So again, I'm not saying that I mean the build is bad for me, but because there are so many like top players are playing it, so it can't be really a bad build. But I would assume that if you are watching this video right now, so you are kind of like have the same like play skill level as I have, like say 7 hours finishing campaign. If you take 8 hours, and like after 24 hours, which is at the end of weekend, so spending 3 days. By doing SSF, you'll be able to get like level 90 something. But if you are top player, of course, you'll be able to reach level 90 in the first 24 hours. Probably you will like sacrifice some sleep time and like rush through playing like 60 hours and get to level 90. Like this basically is above my level. And if you can finish the campaign in like 4 or 5 hours, then of course like you probably wouldn't look at this watch my video anyway, because I have the titles, like just 6 7 hours finish campaign, you wouldn't watch it. But anyway, if you are at my level, you probably don't want to play this build. And the LA, so the lightning arrow, that are something basically a very popular build, but they are crap. So I will explain. So the problem with this kind of builds is that the defensive layer. So basically, you have suppression. Suppression is something that people think that about 100% suppression, like that is tanky. Fuck them. It's not tanky at all. So this is the bare minimum that basically you have, some sort of way to counter the elemental damage. But this is way like far away than the real tanky. Why? Because if it's a bow build, you don't have a shield, right? So and if you don't have a shield, then you can't block, and you like I mean if you do a rearing, you can still block, but you with a bow build you cannot block, and you cannot use like a shield charge and lip slam to move fast, and which like help you to represent yourself. But for this, like you better have facing. But and if you don't have facing, then you are screwed. Like there's no way for you to get out of the animal surrounding. And most importantly, all these like the life nodes here you can grab, they are just bad nodes. So like you have flask. I will say the bad things about flask later. But basically, 447. What is the other kind of you can get what kind of other build nodes you can get from on the mage side, on the sword, on the mage side. The C system, right? C system, and yeah, here is yeah, for like 5 life plus 4 energy shield, and 10% life. So and on the other side is a little bit worse, but still you get 5 and 10 10. So this is a like a big downside. Not grabbing the life from here, and look at this, like this 5 and 10, and then like you get a chance to avoid the elemental elements. What the fuck does this do? So if you can't have 100% chance to avoid, then it's equal to 0, because like in this game, like if you are unlucky, you get hit, you just die. It doesn't matter. Like and if you die, you lose SP. So yeah, and yeah, this is like 610. This is the only node that's number sort of okay, but you recover life on kill. So again, what the fuck? That does nothing when you are doing the boss. And if like just a map boss, not really the boss, and here you get like 5 4S. So in general, like all these life nodes are really bad, and you only grab like a couple of them. So you can get these 3 masteries, and then you can get here, and you get evasion rate. Again, evasion is really bad. We'll talk about later. And some life here, and some some life here, and where the other life? Yeah, but basically that's it. So you have very like here you have some life. So basically you have very like a few life nodes you can get, and you don't have armor nodes. The only armor nodes you can get sort of is from here, but the most likely is evasion, and the evasion is crap, because if you just like evasion rating, so you could get to like with flask like 67%. What does that mean? That means like 1/3 of the chance a big hit will just basically kill you when it's crits, and you don't have any way to reduce crits. So like I can't even run defense banner here. So defensive layer is really bad, and what makes it worse is that the playstyle is really bad. So like you basically, I tried 3 variations. So firstly, this is a self-casting. Self-casting is basically when you just start playing, so you kind of like have to use both attack source. So instead of using the ensnaring or frenzy, arrow of frenzy, so to buff your totem. So by the way, I just got this seedlings, and it's pretty terrible. But anyway, so like you put on totem, and then like you shoot by yourself. And there's the second way is that you instead of running like another buff, you run the focus ballistic, focus and ballistic, or yeah, focus and ballistic. So basically, what that does is that when you what does this do is that when you it don't shoot, and when you shoot, they shoot. So basically, this is to counter the problem that the totem's attack rate is too low, and the attack rate is scales very well with this toxic ring build, right? So yeah, this is another way. And both these ways require you basically to stand here and doing the output. So this is doing the output, and for this, of course, you can just run around, let totem does their stuff, but it simply doesn't work because you don't have enough damage. And this is another problem I will talk about later. But basically, the third version is that you could run the I would use a focus ballistic ballista, and the snaring arrow and or frenzy. So because this gives a faster shooting rate, so it's kind of made it up, and then it give you some buff like frenzy charges, something like that, so that you can like just shoot your totem will shoot faster. So basically, all these playstyles is the like of course the first iteration would be you just use these two. You don't use the buff. You just I mean this is buffing. So you just let your totem do your stuff, and you buff yourself. So basically, all these things. So if you like don't have like the focus blister, then the shooting like the shooting frequency is basically just miserable. And if you do, then like you will have to stand there to the output. So so either way is bad. And so let's say if you so again, I really doubt that you can make it work with a 4-link league start, and just like your totem does their stuff. Basically, they can shoot anything on the screen, and they just it's terrible. They don't shoot the tagger you want them to shoot. And when you want to shoot, to do this, so see, so 1. So firstly, they launches, then secondly they arrive on the ground and then explode. So basically, this is slower than detonate that, which is you summon corpse, detonate, summon corpse, detonate, that will be done. So like 1, 2 is already done. And now after half a second, this actually after 1 second, this thing actually pops up. So this is the delay is even worse than like DD. That's a typical like 2-button style. That's considered to be like clunky. And if you use something like Armageddon brand, you just brand and go. So that is like will be even faster. And this is the same problem I had with BA Ballista. So you plant something there, and then it takes a while to ramp up damage, like a second or something. And in this game, like 1 second is really slow. You don't want damage to kick in after 1 second. And I will show you here. So what will happen is that this is like a tier 11 map. And I think I'm going to fail this map here. So basically, it just, I can do something like this. And then like keep shooting. By the way, I was not using Photos Ballista. So I basically just got Owen, and I think Focus Ballista is better. So even though like you just stand there, it's a better playstyle. The other like you ask a totem to do your job. It's basically if you're under geared like SSF, it just doesn't work. So actually I'm quite surprised that I'm not dying here, because firstly, when I was not using the Focus Ballista, I can't do damage to these things. Okay. So now, of course, we may be able to get back. So like I visited portals, and I lost a lot of SP. Okay, I think I'm gonna die here. So, but yeah, I'm not like purposely dying. Of course, I still want to finish it, and yeah. So again, you are kiting, but how this is kiting? Basically, this is terrible, and even Ballista would be better, because after plant your token totems are quite tanky, so they can do their job. But here, like I summon totem, see the numbers here is 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1. All the totems are gone. So this is because, of course, I could invest more points to the totem, so that is could make them more tanky. But again, so like, how do you get the seasoning in the first place? So I think this is a big problem. Like, I mean, there are a bunch of problems with this build, and all these are big problems. So probably what the other players are doing, I assume, is that they play with some very specific content. I don't know, like I tried to hide, I didn't get it to work. But you are like using the crap, like those retarded, like stupid fucking TFT, then you will be able to like do the contents using just buy marks and run blue points and blue sprints without like actually exploring Atlas. But and basically, like I was not checking SSF ranking, so of course, like that could be a thing. But yeah, like that's against the principle of my challenge, and basically I just fucked FT. So in this case, as you can see in this map, I'm just doing fucking 0 damage. So if it's something like EA Ballista, basically I'm at level 82. I shouldn't really be playing like red maps, but yeah, I just happen to play this. But with all the other builds, even the worst EA Ballista, it would be better than this shit. So basically, because you totem can't like stand there doing damage, and when you stand and doing damage, then it's just a couple of seconds. So basically, most of the time you are not doing fucking damage. So like, how can this build is good? the only way you make it work is that again probably you are going to use TFT and to like by the let's say by blueprint running them like you know like very efficiently because the movement speed at be honest is actually pretty good, right? So yeah, so it's pretty fast. I think I in campaign I got 156 movement speed. So again, I think it's worse than Leap Shield and Leap Slam and so Leap Slam Shield Charge, but sort of you sort of can make it work. And if it's some specific contents, and then you will have the currency, you can just buy those stupid fucking like a 5-way. Like this is totally crap design of this game, but yeah, and that is how you efficiently play this game, right? But I definitely don't want to play like something like that, and like you know, like I simply can't get to work. As I said, it's basically above my level, so yeah, I don't blame the build itself. It's just yeah, it just I can't enjoy playing it, and it's you know like it's yeah, if only if you are tanky enough then you can stand here, but how the fuck, like how can you get like even 4k health? And that's the problem that I had with LA Deadeye as well. That is better. So you basically for things like this, you can actually just stand there and I mean just do damage, kill things and move on. But if you like have some like some pumped yellow mob, rare mob, then yeah, you're just screwed. So like people, you know, like you just don't kill them, and then like and you takes forever to kill it. So all these builds again, I just don't understand like how people can make it work. I mean, I understand how people let it work, but yeah, I just don't know how I can make it work because I definitely won't do something like that. Okay. I really don't want to visit this map. I want to have this box build here. Okay, so let's just see if we can clear the. Probably I should clear the trash mobs before I enter here. But I will just wait a second. So this playstyle is crap. So like you know, like I'm trying to dodge and shoot and everything. This is totally different than like what you can see in these showcase videos. They just stand there, plant the buttons and kill things. But how do you get there? So like if you take a big field to farm and get there, then it's you don't do that. Just play different builds. And if you really want to play this kind of build, you can you know like earn currencies from other like builds and then go back play this one. Basically, if you get a tree from armor and you can scale it, so then it will be like much better. Now like I'm trying to get armors here and here and here, but yeah, like very hard to get 10k armor. And then like how do you like deal with the physical damage? So you don't LA is fine as long as again, so like you don't fight those you know like super tanky mobs, which are actually run into like them like every couple of maps. Okay, actually I think maybe we can get this boss. And yeah, so this is in terms of defense. So these are like it's pretty bad. It's not tanky at all. And how do you make it up? So you would make it up with blast. Again, so I may miss some like I may be missing some nodes on the passive tree. So that's why my flask coverage is not very good. But yeah, again, you need to micromanage those fucking things. So like the life. So with the Aegis Aura and the high energy shield, you know nothing. But for this thing, like you have to press it, and because I'm running live like a left tap, so I have to like even though I'm not being a cat, I still need to like to consume the flask from time to time. And okay, let's just take time to kill it. And for the other thing like flasks. So by the way, I still don't have the last lab. That is will grant me 30% performance of the magic flask. So that can help, like, of course help the numbers, but then it may also help what's called the duration. If they have some like duration mod, I don't really know, but yeah, increase duration, maybe that can help a little bit. But still, like you let me tell you, you can't even find the resource to craft your flask. So I got very lucky to get some like a pretty good like a craft, but sometimes you just you spend 4-5 like currency and get a gem between like a trigger when you are poisoned, when you are freeze and something, and then like like all these flasks are just manual flasks. And so yeah, so the one that you can use is that when it's deal when you hit unique monster. That is something like it's good for boss fights. Unfortunately, I got this on my Quicksilver, which is probably the least flask that you need this mod, but still better than like being freeze or something. And you like the first flag is use a guard, use a movement skill. So use a guard. If a guard skill, then basically it's nothing, right? If a movement skill, because we have to use a wizard wizard staff. So it's kind of like offense, movement, defense, like three things together. So this is a J class. And have the you reuse like at the end of flask. I don't know why, Master Roll Guide they recommend this mod. I think it's definitely like worse than the what's it called when the flag reaches full. So I think that is definitely better. But maybe because then you are in a stage that all your like flags you can maintain them, then you can like just press it, enter in the map, and then just kill things. But again, you need to do the fucking like map boss, and then like how do you maintain it? As if you can't maintain it and you cannot this time you're doing this kind of fucking things, then it just that doesn't work. It's kind of like taking fucking forever to do this. I mean, I wasn't like this angry, like like when I was talking about my previous like build, I was like pretty chill, talking about the pros and cons. But for this one, it's really annoying. It's yeah, like because I just can't think of a way that to get it to work with like SSF playstyle and like something that is not painful to play. So yeah, I used to say that the like the numbers don't lie. Well, actually, let me take a glance at POE.Ninja. So if it's so Deadeye is the second popular than Elementalist on day one, and TR is the second popular. The first one is 7% LA, second is 6%. Sorry, actually these two builds are actually the most popular ones across all builds day one. So LA 70%, TR 6%, 7% 6%. And if I switch to SSF, then the number will be like Bone Shatter 2%, Fire Trap 1%, and TR 1%. Okay, so I was wrong. And LA like 0.9%. So I was wrong. Actually, I suck. I mean, like if most people like can't get it to work, then I just simply suck. But again, so if you are like me, you think the number can lie, you may want to think again, because it just not as good as I would imagine. And by the way, if I'm going to play, I will put tapping here. Okay, so yeah, the flat you can see when you are dealing with like a map boss, then the flat can't keep up, then basically you are screwed. And the ideal situation is that you stand there, you pop up your flasks, and then you like pop up flasks, you keep killing, and this is the ideal situation. You want to do something like this. You don't want to do those, like those things in the showcase video that we just like move along and start killing things, dropping some totem. It's very hard to get to that stage in the first place. Okay. And I don't think I can get to this encounter. I failed the other two encounters, and yeah, probably I should just quit. And I don't think I can beat Ether. So this is like the offense is terrible, plays out terrible, defense is terrible. Then like this build basically is a failure. So I spent like I think 80 hours. Yeah, so now it's 19 hours, but at 18 hours I was at level 82, and it's very painful. I could get it to maybe 80 like 5 or even more than that, with you know, like within 24 hours, but I don't want to keep playing anymore. I wanted to stop playing at 12 hours because I only reached to level 75, and that's really slow. And that should be something like around 8 hours mark. But I kept trying because I wanted to try another strategy, which is I grab all this and then I can grab a lot of contracts, and then like I get more blueprints. So the blueprints, I did I think 3 or 4, I forgot, but yeah, I didn't get much. I think I have one replica left, and then that's it. But it's fine because you need a lot of rose mark to run the blueprints anyway. And I'm talking about the current economy, and everything why it doesn't work. So basically, I run some contract so to level up the rogue and everything. So I have some contract left, a lot of contract left, and I'm broke, so I don't have any markers anymore, and I have to use how do I go back to the marker? Oh yeah. So I have to like do more contracts to run the final blueprint, which means you when you have you even you don't get tons of blueprints, but your markers, if you don't trade do SSF, your markers will be the bottleneck. And about markers, it takes let's say like 4K to review a win. 20 if it's I think you can make it cheaper, but basically it's like 20 2 3 4K something. And the current economy is like 20 200 markers a chaos. And that means it's a kind of like 10 to 20 chaos. Not considering blueprint, just the cost of the of your you know, like of the review. And by like if it's per win, you have like 10 20 chaos, then like what you get, can you make the money back? So basically you have to hit big, and if you don't have hit big, you grab something like this. So like no, something like this. So basically like I don't know. So this is like maybe 40 50 chaos. This is good luck, and this is just like maybe 20 chaos. I don't know if anyone will ever bet anyway. But like this probably is like a 15 chaos, and person cautious, it's this kind of that is a good thing. You can get 100 chaos here, and then like yeah, you get 40 chaos here. But I know that they don't sell fast, and this is something that I would hesitate. At the first I thought it's a good idea, because a lot of people saying that heist is profitable, but from like many card, so you can get some cards here and there, which is good. And you can like this about like 40 kills to start, and for the kills you don't have a lot, you just have a couple, and you if you review the currency wins, then you small rooms, then you could get an exalt shard, but now the exalt is really cheap, so it doesn't really work anyway. So yeah, and basically you don't get assassins, anything like this, very rare in the highest. So yeah, and I didn't get a blueprint to unlock my my real US. So putting all these things together, I just don't think this strategy is good enough, because yes, you can craft So I had some very tough time crafting, but now I finally reached to a point and I have some fusing. I have some fusing is the one that probably are going to run out first. And I got chromatic orb so that I can start crafting. So now my builds finally come together, and as you see, I just barely did a tier 11 map. This is crap. For the others, you get some life here, some life here, some life here, and rest, and you can get rest, the movement speed and everything. You could get, I think I can get like 3.8 life with more life attributes, and I could invest if I can get small cluster with life, then I can get maybe hit 4K, but that I 4K is or Pathfinder 4K is like way worse than the other builds, like RF. So yeah, so in this case again, I just don't think this build is ever going to work. And if you like this, yeah, just sell this. And yeah, so I can't even fill my inventory because the progression is pretty bad. Yeah, and this is it. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, so this strategy turned out to be bad, and now even though the DD worked very well with Blight, probably it's better to not farm the Blight maps yourself. Probably it's better to just buy the Ravaged map directly, because the drop rate of you got a bunch of blighted maps, but the Ravage maps, they are actually pretty uncommon to drop. What is the league end of league price of now? Let me do a little quick search. So let's just see. So blighted map. You okay? Have this blight. How do you search blighted map? Let's see. Blighted account on this. Do I have a map here? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty bad. It's pretty hard to search. How do you search this? Oh, 40. Actually, it's pretty expensive. So Ravaged. Oh, you can't search for any black map. That's interesting. Blight. I need to Google it. There gotta be a way to search for all the blighted map. Ravaged. There gotta be some way. Only there am there. Map. Ravaged. MEP. No. Oh, okay, never mind. But so here I got blighted map. Is there all? Why you can't select for all? I'm just trying to miss some of this. Oh, 60 chaos. Yeah. Yeah, maybe farming platinum makes a little bit sense now. But again, expedition is just too good to pass, and harvest as well. So I was thinking, like doing some heists while grabbing the blight nodes, but yeah, just don't think this going to work. Okay, and yeah, so the good thing about Chaos build is that for the campaign, even though I was testing some random things, I was testing doing delve at level 32 and doing highest at the level 45, because the kind of like the time that you may fall a little bit behind in regard of SP. Yeah, but it turns out to be like it's used. This is pretty bad idea. And when you when you play like when you're doing the map, sorry, doing the campaign, chaos damage, that's very good to damage the boss. So even though like you would think like this is AOE, so it has to be like a mapping build, but actually it's a bossing build. So like you stand there, you do damage to the boss, and the boss is killed bosses were killed really fast. It's similar with SRS, but like with a lot of mobs, actually it's pretty bad, because again you have to stand there and start shooting. Then like yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, starting popping up doesn't work. Okay, cool. This is something that this is some pretty negative video, so I hope that you don't mind. I will add something in the title that is negative. Maybe please don't watch something like that, so that it don't cloud your judgment. But yeah, if you are like me, then you definitely don't want to play this build. It's yeah, it's a failure. Cool. So yeah. Now we are, yeah, so cool. So see you next time.